question.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you. So I have like intuitively, I feel like all of this stuff is kind of bringing me back around to like the near death experience and the series of several, bad accidents that I had.
Mhm.
And I started having panic attacks again recently, particularly when I'm driving, especially on the highway. And I'll start to, feel short of breath and then get kind of fuzzy headed. And then I'll just feel like I'm just going to like pass out or something. And so I have to exit. Um, and I started having those like right after my near death experience and those accidents. And had a really hard time with it for years. And I've been pretty good for the last couple of years. And then now, since this breathing difficulty has been going on post COVID, it started happening several times in the last three,
It
four
wasn't
weeks.
happening before the respiratory issue. It's just been since.
Yeah, since then it kicked back on, and I started to like have memories and flashbacks to like some of those events and stuff more often. And it like when it happens, when I have those episodes, like
Mhm.
it just feels like my nervous system is just like
Yeah.
gone completely haywire.
You ever get a little shaky?
Yeah, afterwards, I mean, if I
Like
can't
just
exit,
like a quiver of sorts, you know what I mean? Like you just
yeah,
get a little.
yeah, because like if I'm on the highway and that
Yeah.
happens, I can't exit immediately. By the time I get off, like I'm pretty shaken, and physically, I'll actually like shake a little bit.
And does it ever seem like something in particular has triggered it, or it's just out of the blue?
Um, like as far as what I'm thinking about consciously, no.
And there's no incident externally, like nothing's going on.
I mean, externally, I've had several accidents on the highway, and
No,
right
but like
after
when you
my,
start having the feeling, it's not like
uh
somebody cut you off like while you're
no,
driving or
no, no, no.
no. Okay. As weird as this sounds, like one of the issues sometimes where people like have things like that pop up, like you might not use the word like feeling triggered, but like an anxiety attack or a panic attack can be like some like a form of like triggering. There's different reasons why it can happen, and it's never like a clear cut like, oh it's this, oh it's that, oh it's there's a lot of physiological things that can cause these kinds of responses, and then there is like some mental things that can potentially cause them and everything. But given with all the history that we're talking about here, and prior to this where we're talking about circulation, one of the issues that you address when somebody has this potential of getting triggered very easily, having like um, usually more than an anxiety attack. Like anxiety attacks are usually like other things, but like when it's starting to go to kind of like a place of like panic, um, I focus on the lymph nodes actually quite substantially. The lymph nodes, um, you'll want to treat them through your whole body, and you probably have Baylaurel, right?
Yes,
And do you happen to have um, Arbor Vitae or Arbor Vitae, however you want to say it?
yes.
Okay, so right off the bat, let's have you like either inhale on all the joints of your arms and legs or dab a little bit on. It's been a long time since I put Arbor Vitae on the skin. I don't remember it irritating my skin, but check to make sure that it doesn't irritate your skin. And if you can, dab it on the joints, right? I'd still go through and breathe on those areas. And when you get to the hips, instead of going to the outside of the hip, go to the inside of the hip, like where the crease is, where if you kind of poke around there, you can kind of feel like some bigger lymph nodes in that area. You'll want to kind of target that area, you know. So it would be like off center of the sex chakra. Like if you go to the sex chakra, just go over to the leg, and then it's usually like right in that area, right?
Okay.
So like work that area a little bit more, and then still do like the back of your knees and the ankles, and also do some inhalation on the abdomen. And again, let's see how that treats you. Like malfunctioning lymph nodes affect way more things than people realize, and a lot of it is even us, like psychologically. And so you know, I briefly mentioned this in one of the pain classes, like when we were talking about like deposits in the joints, and one of the byproducts of it is that it causes like fear responses. Like, you know, when you have a joint degenerating, or if there's deposits in a joint, well, one of the things is it makes your brain go into a little bit of a fear mode, you know, because one of the joints is compromised. So you just have these biological responses when it happens. And so the thing that I'd like to see here is like Bayloral and Arbor Vitae for a little bit to really kind of jumpstart the lymph nodes. And then after that, to use something like, you know, after about a week of treatment like that, use something like Lovage or Arthrocare, Eucalyptus citrodora, you know, something like that. And you'll be rubbing that on the body, the whole body, just to help kind of keep flushing things out and detoxifying the tissues. And then after a week of that, going back to the Bayloral and the Arbor Vitae and all that. And let's just like really unwind the lymph nodes. Now, sometimes the lymph nodes are just like full, sometimes they're a little swollen, and sometimes they have like deposits in, right? And so this will be a good start in treating this, but like if it's going to work, you should start noticing something kind of quickly, like within a day or two. Like, hey, I feel like a little bit better, or I feel, you know, I'm not having quite the panic or the fear responses, or you know, the body's feeling a little bit better. But you'll still need to treat it for a little while. But you should start noticing something like, feels like something's shifting or changing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.